Hello everyone, my name is Anahí Caldú. I am a NAEC in Mexico and I am also the contact person. I appreciate the opportunity to present two projects I have been involved with, and for that I will share my screen. The name of my talk is Astronomy in the Land of Avocados, and that's because Michoacan, the orange state you can see here, is a very large producer of avocados. And well, this is the map of Mexico so that you can understand a bit where things have been happening. So first of all, I want to put in context Michoacan. As I already mentioned, it produces a lot of avocados, but a lot is a lot. It's 45% of world's avocado production comes from here, which sounds great, but at the same time, the avocado plant seems to be a very good plant to hide other type of plants, and Michoacan, unfortunately, has also a lot of narcotraffic. So it is one of the 10 most dangerous states of Mexico, and the whole state has around 4.5 million inhabitants. So, I mean, as in all Mexico, Michoacan faces a lot of inequalities, a lot of insecurity. And well, this red thing there is the capital city, Morelia. And most of the things happen in, most of the cultural things, educational things, most of the services are in Morelia, the capital city. And moving around the state is a bit complicated, mostly because of insecurity reasons. And in the last year, it was actually very bad. So, I mean, you would think it twice to drive at night on a highway. So among all the things that Morelia has is a campus of UNAM, which is the largest university in Mexico, and it has lots of research institutes. And within this campus in UNAM, there is the Institute for Radioastronomy and Astrophysics, where I was working, and from where I started carrying out the two projects I will present. So, as I already said, most of the things happen in Morelia, but not only that, most of the things happen in the center of Morelia, which you can see in the map here where Morelia, the name Morelia is. So most things happen here. Here in blue, I mark where the UNAM campus is, so it's already outside the city, in the outskirts of the city. And just across a highway, there is a very large neighborhood called Tenencia Morelos. So most of the people from Tenencia Morelos would not go very easily to activities that happen in the city center because there's a lot of transportation problems as well. There's not many buses, or they stop running up to here at 8 p.m. So if something ends later than that, you cannot really go with public transportation. But even though UNAM is just across the highway, and in UNAM there's also a lot of outreach activities, basically also from the Institute for Radioastronomy, people don't go. So we were carrying out many outreach activities, and I was trying to find out where the people were coming from, and there was nobody from Tenencia Morelos. So the first project had the aim of reaching what's closest to us. So to start with Tenencia Morelos, and it was called UNAM in Tenencia Morelos, but now I translated it here as UNAM in your neighborhood. So just again, to put a bit things in context, I show you here pictures of UNAM campus on the left and of Tenencia Morelos here on the right. So as you can see here, we see the reflection of all these inequalities. The campus is super beautiful. It has even this picture here on the bottom, you cannot see it very well, but it is an open air museum. Here there's Betelgeuse, the constellation, and there's also math exposition. So people can come, there's many activities, but as I told you, Tenencia Morelos, which is just across the street, looks a bit like this, some places. It's very dangerous. Within Michoacan, it's one of the most dangerous neighborhoods. So many people don't want to cross the highway in a way because it's insecure to be walking at night if we have like observing nights. And also because they feel like a disconnection with the campus, no? It's like a completely different reality. Here, I always like to tell a story. A colleague of mine, a researcher at the Institute, was once running around the campus, and a guy from the fence shouted at him like, "Get to work." No, it's like they are like, there's also a bit of tension. So part of this project was to try to break this tension and try to build more community sense. So for this, some institutes got together. The Institute of Astronomy was the trigger of these activities, but we got together so that we could offer an outreach activity from different institutes once per month, because it's also very important in order to build community sense that there's not just one activity and then you disappear and never come back. So the idea was to be coming and trying to talk to the people there, not only about outreach, but being there. And as you can see here, well, this line here is of people who wanted to observe through the telescope, but then here it was the maths day and they were doing paperwork. And then you have also the chance to talk to the people there. And that helps to build these community laces. And well, I don't have time to go into details, but just to tell you that after we started this, when we were asking about the whereabouts, when we did outreach activities at the campus, then some families from Tenencia Morelos started coming. So that is already a success, in my opinion. The second project was a bit more ambitious, and we wanted to go outside Morelia. It was called Knowledge Exchange. I presented this project and got money to do it. Unfortunately, at that moment, I had to change jobs. So I gave it in adoption to a colleague, Bernardo Cervantes Sodi, who is also a NAIC from Mexico. But the idea was to go to these places, Santa Fe de la Laguna, Cuanajo, and other two places, which I don't show in the map, and try to have also an exchange with the communities, and in this way, trying to bring science to these communities. All these lines are the highways that run from Morelia to Santa Fe de la Laguna and Cuanajo. It's not very far away, maybe 70 kilometers to each, but as I told you, those distances can become a challenge in these circumstances. So what was the project about? The idea was to go to communities to bring outreach activities. So you can see these outreach activities were carried out in open air plazas, wherever we could. And all the people from the community were invited, and we also telescopes were taken. But not only that, the idea was also to do workshops with teachers and have activities that they can reproduce in their classrooms, so that it's not necessary that somebody from the institute is there so that they can teach astronomy. Astronomy in Mexico is not very strong in the school's curricula, so it all has to be taught outside from the classrooms or as an extracurricular activity. And finally, which I find most interesting is that there was a get-together with people from the community so that they could expose their problems, and we brought people from the campus that work on more social aspects so that together we could see for which problems these institutes could maybe help in some way. And this way, it's also easier to feel that it's not only very vertical and we come to teach you astronomy. It's also trying to figure out what the community needs and how the university can help. So with all of these, with this project Knowledge Exchange, what we want to do also is to strengthen the community sense of the university with the surrounding towns. And it has been a success. So in the future, Dr. Bernardo Cervantes Sodi, who is here in the picture, will present the project again to get more funding and continue doing these jobs in other towns. So I'm out of time. I'm out of time, but if you have any questions, I'm very happy to answer them. Thank you very much.